Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request. This time for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now he wanted me to list what are my top 3 favorite Tim Curry films slash roles. Now Tim Curry, very good character actor. Sadly, his stroke and other things, he's not doing the best physically. It was nice that they got him interviewed for that Pennywise, the It 1990 documentary. But you definitely see how it's affected him, what happened to him. And it's very sad to see because so used to see him so vibrant in many of his other movie roles. Now, there's a lot of films he's been a part of that I've enjoyed. Scary Movie 2, he was fun in that. And Legend, he did a really solid job as the devil with that excellent costume and just being darkness personified with his deep voice and granular presence that he gave that character. My number one has to be Pennywise in the 1990 It film. I know people like Bill Skarsgård and the new ones. It's not for me. He feels like he's just trying too hard, and it comes off more goofy than intimidating or scary. Plus, it didn't help all the CG effects they'll give him from time to time and all this other stuff. Tim Curry's Pennywise felt scary. It felt creepy. The way he would look at you, the way his voice would get a bit lower, his mannerisms. And there are times he'd be funny and try and do these jokes. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. So it's like he'd be disarming and being funny, as a clown would be, but then he could turn those eyes squinting and he could get that voice lower. We all float down here. We all float down here. That makes him one massive creeper. And I thought it was such an effective performance. It's easily one of the best parts of that film. And while I do like the finale, like unlike other people, I do get the point that Tim Curry, his Pennywise is so effective that when he's gone, and I'll look at the movie as a whole, as a miniseries, the third act, when he's gone and you have this spider crab thing, which was in the book, and I think they did what they could for a TV movie that were practical effects. As a guy that's a sucker for that creature feature practical stuff, I think it looked neat. But Tim Curry made such an effective presence that when you don't have him, it it loses a bit of something. I think for a lot of people they felt that way. That they would somehow would rather have it be them as adults face it against Tim Curry himself. Not right, that doesn't mean you make fun of him and he turns to a baby like the new one, which was so stupid. I don't make fun of you and he turns to a baby. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Give him the crab spider thing any day over that shit. But, little goober. But yeah, Tim Curry was very effective as Pennywise. And I'm sure it gave a lot of people creeps and nightmares after that time. Then I thought, okay, what would be my second favorite Tim Curry performance? And the one that kept popping up is the one in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. From the get-go when you first see him and Whoopi Goldberg looks through the peephole and he's like, wilderness girls. Like, they picked the right accent for him. And, I mean, he's a supporting role, but he makes that work very well. It's too important. And I just love that film. I think it's one of the great parody movies, very underrated. Emilio Estevez, Samuel L. Jackson. So many people, like Bruce Willis has a cameo. Whoopi Goldberg's in a bit part. John Lovitz, Corey Feldman, Phil Hartman, I think J.T. Walsh, some of the guys from the TV show Chips, Scotty from Star Trek, James Doohan. There's so many people in that film. Kathy Ireland, William Shatner's your villain. Yeah, Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson face off against William Shatner and Tim Curry. Like Ted tells it all. I mean, that's a hilarious movie, Loaded Weapon 1. You know, the bit where Tim Curry tells Emilio, I'm your worst nightmare. And he's like, no. What you have without my penis is my worst nightmare. And then Tim Curry goes, fine, I'm not your worst nightmare. But I'm right up there. And he took what would be a nonchalant role, and he made it work. He made every scene work as much as he can with his demeanor, the accent he chose. Again, to take a smaller role and make it that memorable, it takes a lot of talent. It's not the easiest thing to do, and I think that's what made that work for me fairly well, and I put that as number 2. And number 3, I would say his role in Clue as Wadsworth the butler was very memorable. I mean, that's another one that has a great cast. But he was my favorite part of it. As the butler, and like when he's trying to have to rat you through that dialogue and run from room to room to room and explain what's going on. And then of the 3 endings, you have one that he's the one who did it. And you have the one where he solved everything. Well, I guess really 2 of them he solved everything. And one is the one he did it. And I think Michael McKean, like I said, that has a great cast. That I'm not remembering the names of because I'm bad with names. So I'll just look it up real quick. But I mean, another role I enjoyed was in Congo as Homolka. I know a lot of people don't like that film, but I enjoy that quite a bit. As I said, if you're asking me about films he's in, and I enjoy the films, it'd be like favorite films he just happens to be in. It would be Loaded Weapon 1, Congo, and It. But if you're talking about like characters he played, I would say It, Pennywise, Loaded Weapon 1 character, and then Wadsworth and Clue. But Congo, that's another one I do enjoy, where even just his reaction when Delroy Lindo goes, Homolka, do you stop eating my sesame cake? Hmm? Stop eating my sesame cake! I do. And maybe, yes, it's over the top, but I found it rather entertaining. And go back to Clue, you have Madeline Kahn, who was in Young Frankenstein. You got Michael McKean, who was in This Is Spinal Tap. You got Christopher Lloyd, of course, Back to the Future. Martin Mull, who's been in a lot of stuff. Yes, such a great cast in that. And yeah, they did come out with that documentary. I never did see that. Could never find to watch. Who Done It, the Clue documentary. I think Vendor Syndrome released it, but I never picked it up. I don't know if it's... Oh, is it on Tubi? Okay, it is on Tubi. Okay. Well, there you go. It's on Tubi. For free. Okay, I'll have to give that a watch sometime. I mean, I'll be busy. That's weird. It's a 5.9 out of 10? That's pretty low. Sorry, I'm investigating. I'm going off tangent. I apologize. I wanted to love this so much. There are very few of the main cast actually being spoken to, and a huge chunk of the documentary is just videos from conventions or interviews with people who had absolutely nothing to do with the movie. The director did a terrible job of editing the people being interviewed. Who cares how spend way too much time on these satellite projects and theatrical productions, merch selling, and YouTube people. Huh. So some people are pretty disappointed with this. Interesting. So I know I'm going off tangent, but yeah. Yeah, Pennywise, his character Loaded Weapon 1, and Wadsworth and Clue are my three favorite roles. I also did enjoy him in Home Alone 2. I think that is a fun role as the hotel concierge, especially when him and Rob Schneider and others are staying there, and unbeknownst to them, they're listening to a movie, but they think that it's a person. And just the way the guy is talking, react, like all the stuff that they're doing and accusing him of stuff, the way Tim Curry reacts to it, like it's a really good non-verbal performance that just makes me laugh, just how he's reacting. And like the person on TV says one of the names, and they turn, they look to the guy, and the guy's like, "Wasn't me, wasn't me." That's a very entertaining scene. Yeah, a lot of with just the way Tim Curry performs it without speaking, but just so scared and horrified that he, in his mind, he screwed up with this person who is on the other side of the door, ready to shoot. Is it? No, 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 no. But yeah, I mean, Tim Curry, like I said, it's sad what happened to him. It's sad that he went through that, and don't wish that on anybody, especially someone like Tim. And it's interesting. I talked about this before. There's a piece of audio where originally he was up for the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. Now, Mark Hamill, at the end of the day, was the right choice. He pulled it off very well. But Tim Curry, like, he brought. It felt like a bit more of a menace to the Joker. Maybe he was a bit too much for people, which I can understand why. And but it was pretty interesting to hear that. It showed that he could pull it off, but I do think Mark Hamill was the better choice at the end of the day. And I know I didn't mention the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think most people have that on their list. I don't mind the film, but I think it really falls apart in the third act. I think there's a reason why anytime someone talks about that film, they always talk about the first half of the movie, and they never talk about the second half. Like all the moments, the big musical numbers, and the moments of Tim Curry, that's all from the first half of the movie. You never hear people reference the second half for a good reason, because I think it just completely falls apart. The musics are not as good. The plot just like doesn't know where it wants to go. It seems, and I don't know. I don't I don't hate the film, but I don't love that film. That's why I don't put that on my list. So again, three favorite films he was a part of: Loaded Weapon 1, Congo, and It. Three favorite roles of his though: Pennywise, his character in Loaded Weapon 1, and Wadsworth and Clue. I said Legend. He doesn't have a whole lot to do, but he does it very well to be menacing. I could say that the costume does a lot of the work, but at the same time, Tim Curry's still essential to that because his eyes, the way he moves, the voice, especially the voice, very well complements the fantastic practical effects for that creature. So it goes hand in hand. I'm just saying, I know a lot of people, and that's why I said before, that a lot of people would say the suit did most of the work, but Tim Curry was still very important to that. And the Steer movie, too, it wasn't a big role yet, but I like that sequel. It's my favorite of the Steer movie films, and it was a nice asset to that flick, so it was nice to see him in there. But yeah, best wishes to Tim Curry. Sad that he went through that. I don't know. He might not be doing that well. I don't know the details. In fact, I'm just going to see what it says here. Type in Tim Curry, and if it has anything news wise, after his 2012 stroke, well, lo and behold, and this is from April 10th. I always forget he was in the hunt for it October. He recovered, began doing physical therapy. He still relies on a wheelchair. In 2015, he received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Actors Fund Tony Awards viewing party. He's done voice work in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Ben 10 Omniverse. He did interviews. He's going to be 78 on April 19th, 2024. I just pretty much he was there, and he says, get his actual quote. Of course, these websites gotta have 85 ads on it. It's not tough to maintain. It's just a part of my DNA. So he joins Rocky Horror Picture Show Fox TV remake as the criminologist. Really? There's a what? There's a Fox TV remake? Okay. Fox's TV remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Alright. I mean, that's what it says here. So I've never heard of that. Okay. But with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks once again, Jonathan. Best wishes to Tim Curry. Glad he's still out there doing stuff, even when he's, almost 78 years old. Stroke, hell of a thing to go through, but he's still hanging in there, which is nice. Seems like he's trying to keep as good of an attitude as possible. And gave us some entertaining roles, so which is nice to be remembered in some way at least. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.